G'day Australia, I'm Korum E. Today I am in a Landcruiser 200 Series 2019 to show you the Apple Carplay Android Auto Edition that we can do to these factory audio systems at Audiocom stores in Western Australia. Now the reason you can see the car's still a little bit apart because I'm going to show you how this looks behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what's involved in installing this. So to get access to all of this, we do sell this available as a DIY pack at audiocom.online. So if you're crafty, have good attention to detail and patient, you can get through this yourself, which I'm going to explain and point out some of the locations and how this goes in, so that if you're thinking about DIYing on the eastern states you can, or if you want to save yourself the hassle and leave it to some people who've had a lot of practice at it, come see us at the Audiocom stores and we can integrate this for you. So to get access to behind here, to get to some of the plugs that we need to put the new modules in, you need to pop off all these side panels to this side of the audio unit and this side of the audio unit. They just clip away, and then there's one fastener Phillips head that you can undo, and those panels will all clip right off. Pretty straightforward. Then you've got some 10mm bolts here, there, and at the top that we need to release. Releasing the top to the middle and the top allows you to pull out the screen component. Now the screen component is separate to the main audio unit that you can see at the bottom there that does all the work. So this is just a screen, and some of our interface points are here on the back of this screen and some are at the back of this audio unit. So what I'm going to do now is just unplug this so I can show you the next steps. Alright, now that's undone, we've got access to behind that screen area, which is where we've mounted the two modules that are a part of this kit. And we've fastened those in and all the wiring with some cable ties. There's quite a lot of room back here. As you saw, that screen was quite slim, leaving a big empty space back here where we can leave these modules and secure them in quite nicely. So there's two modules that go in, and then a few cables that link the two modules together and a few cables that link them to the car. This module takes care of the video interface and talks to the vehicle. This module is your CarPlay module, which does all the work for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, the few cables you've got to run to link them are some screen interceptor plugs that send the new video signal through to the screen, and there's a power plug that comes down and intercepts the back of the audio unit. So I'm just going to plop those out of the way there, drop this audio unit out a little. Those clips are kind of cozy. Now I've got the shifter in the way here, so yeah, we can squeeze past. So you'll see that big multicolored harness there closest to the camera lens. That's the interceptor harness, plug and play, that links the top unit to the bottom unit. This all comes with your kit. There's a second plug that we need to link in there, that other one that's right in the middle of the frame there now. That carries the audio signal from your new CarPlay module through into the car's factory auxiliary input. That's all plug and play as well. Then there's another component which I'll point out here, just under our work mat. There's an entirely new USB input. Can you see that there on the screen? Yeah. Entirely new USB input that we run and clip in, which replaces the factory one, and this will be your new USB interface for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now this is wireless Apple CarPlay, and that's made available by two small antennas, which we recommend. We find this work quite well still being behind the panels. So you'll want to mount one in across here on the driver's side. There's a nice spot to stick it in here, and on the passenger side as well. Similarly, there's another nice spot to stick it in just here as you're reassembling. It comes with adhesive on the back already. You just need to prep the surface before you stick it down with some methylated spirits or glass cleaner so it sticks really nicely. Those wireless antennas give you access to the wireless Apple CarPlay, which is great, but we find sometimes the wireless Apple CarPlay is a little bit glitchy. The phones have a hard time dealing with it, they get quite hot. So you might want to default to wired CarPlay sometimes as well, which is what the USB input is for. So that's the bulk of it. So you've got the two modules that come as part of the kit, the T-harness that connects in, that interceptor harness that plugs in the back of the audio system, which covers all your power and your audio connections. Then there's few link cables that link those two, and some extension cables to link through to the screen. And then the USB cable and the antennas, and then you're pretty much done. There's one more thing I'll point out. There is a new microphone which was squeezed up here next to this Safety Dave screen. We didn't supply the Safety Dave screen, which is why the wiring's pretty wild. We're actually going to try and fix that up for this client later if he approves the upsell. We don't want to leave messy wiring like that, even if it was someone else's job originally. We'll clean it up for this client. But there's a new microphone that mounts up here. Now that microphone is just to sort out your voice controls during Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So when you ask a command of your voice control system, that microphone will pick up your voice. It'll still default to the car's original Bluetooth microphone for hands-free calling. So that mic is just to pick up the voice commands. So that wires through and plugs into one of these modules as well. Now that we've got all of that done, we can clip this back in, put all the fasteners back in, and wipe it all down for a final power-up test. We'll show you what that looks like. Now we've got everything back together, we can show you this in finished form. So with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you've got access to a heap of apps direct from your phone. Things like Apple Maps, Google Maps, even Waze maps will come up on screen for you with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto if you're a Waze user. And you've got access to heaps of other great things too, like your whole Spotify interface, lots of streaming services, heaps of digital radio apps are all available on here via streaming. So completely modernizes your interface, looks very good on the factory screen, and it's completely factory integrated, so it's touchscreen controlled. You've still got access to your original navigation, just one touch of the nav, and that will operate as per factory, as per original. You've got access to all of your original audio functions. To hear the new Apple CarPlay Android Auto system, you will need to be on auxiliary. So that auxiliary source first, and then simply press and hold your nav button for about 2 seconds. It will switch over to the Apple CarPlay Android Auto interface. So very tidy integration, and then you've got full access to all sorts of great things like your whole Spotify interface for almost limitless music, and all of your factory functions like your steering wheel controls are fully operational still, of course. So a really nice neat integration to upspec and modernize the classic Landcruiser to get you all the latest tricks. Now, this is a little bit of a handful as a DIY job, but not too bad. If you want to learn how to do this like a full pro, there is an Audiocom technical training academy that we operate here at the Balcatta workshop of the Audiocom stores, and we train people 2 days a week. We've got people in the training academy learning how to be accredited and qualified to do this sort of work in our Audiocom stores and with some of our partner stores. It's how we train new staff and get new technicians into the team. So if you want to learn how to do this full pro off some of our experienced educators, then enroll in the training program. There's a whole bunch of different modules, fully structured with tests and exams and a lot of backup supporting paperwork to get you trained and qualified to do this sort of work as best as it can be done. I hope you've learned something here today. Thank you for watching. You can get this pack DIY at audiocom.online or contact us at one of the Audiocom stores in Western Australia. Come in and we'll get you booked to have this integration done by our experienced technicians. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. See you again soon. All right, Matt, so we've kitted out the Landcruiser with Apple CarPlay. You're pretty stoked to have extra. Yep. Look at Matt's very mask conscious, so I'm breaking the rules. Do what he does, not what I do. Yeah. So now you're going to have access to multiple mapping platforms. You've got your Google Maps. Yeah. You can stream heaps of services. Do you use Spotify?
Not much. No,
but you'll maybe use the ABC Listen radio app.
ABC Listen, yeah.
Yeah, so you can stream all of those digital versions of radio through the Apple CarPlay and have access to all sorts of content on demand, which is heaps better. And just the convenience of the Apple CarPlay as well. Yep. So she's super up spec now. You can get back to Safari.
Yay!